Hi, Jeremy the Tall Trainer. Here at the park, we've got a little weed whacking going on in the background. Hopefully you don't hear that too much, but gonna do some stretches here on this this park bench here. So you finish your walk, finish your run, you finish some other kind of workout. Here's some things that you can do. Some great stretches that I think will be great to fit in. All right, so first one of my favorites is the foot up on the bench and just leaning into it. All right, so I got my one foot back behind. I'm gonna press that heel down to get a little bit of a calf stretch on that one, and I'm leaning into this one. So I'm getting a stretch underneath in here, leaning in, keeping the back pretty straight on this, getting a nice combination stretch in here. All right, I'm gonna scoot this bottom foot back a little more just to get a little extra on the calf. As I'm keeping that heel down and leaning forward into this, we'll get some into that calf there. All right, so it's about 45 seconds on each position here, is gonna give us a nice benefit. All right, so you wanna hold long enough where it actually gives a chance for that muscle to stretch a little bit. All right, maybe even ease a little bit farther into the stretch after a moment or two. All right, other side. Switching legs. All right, sneaking in here. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is out. Dropping in. So I'm just letting my body come towards this leg and stretching in there. All right. So hopefully some stretching in and around through the hip there. Bottom foot is kind of heel pressing down, leaning into this. Oh, I really like the stretch. All right. A lot of benefits. A little bit of hip flexor on this back leg, during this stretch. And it is stretching me. This is a flexibility thing. It doesn't have to look like, it might even look like this for you. It may not be that far in. All right, we're going to do the hamstring stretch. All right, I'm going to turn sideways just a little bit more so you can see me a little more. But that also gives me a chance to touch the bench and use it a little bit for balance. So if you're worried about having one foot up and you're not going to be able to balance too much, so you can have this bench here that I'm standing and I'm running my foot along it just a little bit. Right now, the foot I'm standing on, I'm going to turn that towards the foot that's up. I'm going to turn this back hip towards it. Oh, yep. Chest is out, butt is out, and I'm going to tip, bringing my chest forward, keep my tailbone pressing back. All right? So there we go. Good hamstring stretch. Yes, other side. All right, so switching legs. Again, I have that bench right by me. I'm able to touch it right from here. All right? Turn that back toes pointing towards this foot here. Turn the hips so I'm facing towards this one. So I'm squaring my hips up here. Chest is out and tipping into it. You don't have to tip too far. So I'm not bending over here because that bend is happening in my back if I bend. I'm tipping in the hip and my hamstring is going, whoa. My hamstring is taking on this stretch here. I don't want to get my lower back too much. Oftentimes our lower back gets too much stretch. Every time we sit down, we're stretching that lower back. So right here, we want to not stretch it too much. We're trying to get the chest out so it's not stretching so much in there. All right, then we got the pull away lat stretch. So I'm going to grab a hold of this bench. I'm going to bring my butt away and I'm going to kind of reach down towards the ground a little bit. So I'm stretching into here and I can do a little bit of side to side there. I can lean towards one arm and I can lean towards the other one a little bit. Just stretching out the armpits there. So I'm dropping in here and stretching. Oh, yes. Now that muscle runs, down the armpit, across the back a little bit there. All right, so that's the latissimus dorsi. We call them the lats a lot because latissimus dorsi has a lot to say. All right, so I'm pulling away there. Hopefully, my underwear's not showing too much, but sometimes that can happen with a stretch like that. Foot up quad stretch. I'll show you one maybe facing away here. All right, so I'm going to hook my foot, and I've got the bench again right here so I can hold on to it. My foot's hooked on there. My abs are in tight. I can bend the support leg just a little bit to get maybe a little more stretch into that quad. I'm pushing the hips forward, all right, and I'm stretching into that thigh. I'll kind of point out the thigh when I do the other side here, but hopefully you can see a little bit of that, of how to accomplish this. All right, so I'm dropping in, pushing the hips forward. When you're doing a quad stretch, your back sometimes wants to arch. So tighten your abs up, tighten the glute up a little bit there. So especially on the stretch side, to get that quad stretch. So I'm switching sides here. So I'll spin around here. Again, I'm looping the foot up on there. I got the hand to hold on while I'm doing this. All right, slight bend in here, knees pointing down, abs are in tight. As I'm pushing the hips forward there, sinking and getting a nice little stretch through the quad there. If I want more, I can bend the support leg a little more. That drops that knee down and back a little bit more to get a little more stretch there. And, oh yeah. Super good. Super good. All right, so again, you should stretch after like every walk that you do. All right, like flexibility or tightness actually makes us feel so old. So get more flexible, you'll like it. All right, so I'm gonna sit on the bench for this one. I'm gonna look over my shoulder a little bit. All right, I'm gonna cross the ankle over the knee. All right, so I got that knee crossed over. The foot is kind of directly underneath the knee here. Maybe I'll sit more towards the end. You can see a little more of this. All right. Now I'm trying to keep my chest out and back straight, so I'm gonna push my chest out. And sometimes that's enough. You already get a lot of stretch right in there. But I can also drop the knee out to the side more, and I can lean into it more. Oh yeah. There's a tight spot for a lot of people here. So again, the foot right underneath the knee is the most. So if you bend it in, bring the foot underneath you more, you won't get quite as much stretch as if the foot's underneath there, or especially if the foot's out. You know, so it's foot right underneath is the maximum stretch there. So you hook it, grab a hold, and then first priority is get the back straight. All right, so I'm straightening up my back, and already get a pretty good stretch starting in there. And then I'm gonna lean into it a little bit to a little extra bonus there. Leaning in, stretching nice. Back is nice and straight. Sitting tall, chest pushes out. I'm gonna lean in a little bit more to finish it off. Oh. All right, I'm gonna call this last one the chest hog, or the bench hog chest stretch. All right, so I'm gonna loop one end over the side, one end over there. Grabbing on there, shoulders down. I'm just gonna lean forward a bit here. All right, leaning forward. Now, if I really push my chest out while doing this, I'll get a really nice stretch. If I let myself hunch and do this, it's gonna feel like it's coming down my arms more, but not across the front of my chest. It's not gonna come across right in here. So I'm gonna push the chest out, really stick the ribs out in front, and then lean forward into it. Ah, love it. Love it. Try to keep the head on straight. All right, so chin's tucked in a little bit. All right, very good. All right, so stretches you can do, you know, using a park bench. I would recommend doing them every time that you work out. All right, so stretch. The more flexible you are, the younger you feel. All right, so it's worth it. It's worth it to get a really, really nice stretch in. All right, so this is Jeremy saying, have fun, be safe. God bless, and God, thank you for our bodies. Help us to care for them, and help us not undervalue stretching, because it can be a miracle. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. All right, have a good one.